I'm very excited to make this video. This is a topic that I've been wanting to cover for a while, but considering that it just wasn't really relevant at the time, I didn't really get a chance to talk about it. But considering now that Twitter is talking about it, I think would be a good time to finally talk about how I feel about Distortion. Now, before I completely obliterate this perk and the people that use it, I do want to talk about the good things about this perk. I think in its best form, in a 4-man swith with comms, this perk is actually insane. Like, really, really good. If the killer has Lethal Pursuer, the Distortion user can immediately call it out. If they have Barbecue, Nowhere to Hide, I'm All Ears, Floods of Rage, Blood Warden, any aura reading add-on from any killer, the Distortion user can call that out. So the whole team can play differently, or they can play around that. And that alone, I think, is really, really good information. It's also good because when the perk is active, your scratch marks are hidden, which can be good if you're being tunneled or anything like that. I think this perk has its strengths. My issue is not so much with the perk, it's the way that people use the perk, and more so specific people that use the perk. That's pretty much all the good things I'm going to say about this perk. Now we're going to tear this perk apart. Ugh. My thoughts on Distortion. There are survivor players who do not like being chased. Not everyone is good at the game. Fun is a spectrum of preferences, and it's different for everyone. Some players prefer to be immersed in their role as a survivor than juice, if that makes sense. I'm a killer main. I know it's annoying to not find people, but I'm not joking. I play Swift with some of my friends who are genuinely afraid of some of the killers and scream when they're being chased. All in good fun, of course. And one of the replies said, I am terrible in a chase, so I like to do what I can to not be seen and keep the killer occupied in other ways. Red herring plus blast mine, or throwing the pebble. Distortion helps me avoid my much-deserved retribution. I appreciate this guy's honesty, but unfortunately, that is most people who run Distortion. There are some who do run it for the information, but more often than not, it's just people that simply don't want to get chased at all and have fun hiding, which I personally don't have fun with. I guess for other people they do, which kind of leads me into another topic. For whatever reason, I keep seeing responses like this. I mean, I run Distortion and I'm a P97 Zarina. All that matters is they do what they want and have fun doing it. I really don't like responses like these because it doesn't really add anything to the conversation at all, and it can be applied to any video game ever. I don't have a problem with people having fun, but when you're playing a team-based game and there's a lot of teamwork involved, your version of fun is not as important as what's better for the team. Like, there are moments where someone's on death hook and I try to take aggro, even in moments where I don't want to, just to make sure that my teammate lives. That'll make everybody else on my team happy. That overall makes everyone else who plays the game happier because they know that they have teammates that'll back them up. I mean, who do you think more people are annoyed with? The person that's taking hits, healing, unhooking, doing gens, taking downs, or the person that's just hiding for the majority of the game? Like, you don't understand that just because you're having fun, it's a bit selfish because you're screwing over all the other people on your team that are also trying to have fun. But because I want to have fun, so good luck everyone else. It's like, yeah, why don't you have fun playing single player games? You can play Animal Crossing, you can play Legend of Zelda, you can play single player horror games. Why do you have to play a very, very team oriented game and basically throw? This is the main reason why I'm not a big fan of the, oh, let people have fun argument, because it's just lazy and it's terrible. I don't know how many of you play Overwatch, but there's a character named Pharah who can fly, and there are hit scans that really struggle against Pharah. Now, considering Overwatch is a team-based game, if you're playing Genji or Junkrat, you're not stopping the Pharah unless you're absolutely cracked. But if you're playing McCree or another like direct hit scan that actually like you shoot and the bullet immediately goes out and hits them, you're not going to beat this character. This character is going to annihilate you. And there are also people who play Pharah when there are Widowmakers or McCrees. And Widowmaker's a sniper. So, like, you already see, she's in the air, she's done. And you'll have these people that won't switch off the character. And if you say something, they'll be like, oh, but just let people have fun. Just let people have fun. It's like you are screwing over your whole team just so you can have fun. To me, I think that's really selfish. Like, why play these super team-oriented games just for you to essentially throw? Because that's basically what you're doing. Some people don't have over 1,000 hours and they want to play stealth because that's what they find fun. It's ridiculous to expect people, especially more casual players, to not want to play stealth in this game. Now, I want to start by saying that I actually do think there are moments where stealthing is actually really good. I think it's pretty strong in the beginning of the game when you're trying to figure out where the pallets are, like what you have to work with. Obviously, you don't want to get caught immediately, especially if your teammates aren't on gens right away. It's kind of like a waste of time. I think it's fine if there is a gen that's like 90% and the killer's proxying it and you're hiding just to keep pressure on the gen. I think that's totally fine. I think it's fine if someone's dead and there's one gen left and you're constantly stealthing, so like to try to break the 3 gen. I think that's totally fine. I think stealthing is good when a survivor's on the hook and you're trying to be sneaky to get the save so you don't get caught right away, and that forces someone else to get off the gen so they can go save the person on the hook. Like, stealthing is good. The problem is that most of these people that are stealthing are not doing it for any of the reasons that I stated. They're doing it because they're terrified. Now, unless you plan on hiding for the entire game, at some point you are going to get chased. And when you do, you're not going to know what to do in the chase. These are people that don't look behind them when they're getting chased. These are people that fall for the easiest mind games. These are the people that don't hold their check spots. These are people that when they do get chased, they bring the chase all the way to an almost completed gen and force everyone else off. Like, you end up screwing over your team because you're not sure what to do, because you spend so much time hiding that you don't really know what it means to be decent at chase. And being decent at chase doesn't necessarily mean holding the chase for like 5 minutes straight. It's more so not bringing the killer to gens, going all the way deep in the corner to go down to waste as much time as possible on the killer so the survivors can finish the gen. Little things like that, which you will learn over time. But because you don't take chase because you're scared or whatever, or you're just screaming whenever you get chased by the killer as if you're brand new to the game or something, you're gonna screw over your entire team. This person says, "It's hilarious how this mindset has poisoned the DBD community. Oh, if you don't throw yourself at the killer, you're bad." I mean, yeah, to some extent this is kind of true. If you're like, let's just say your teammate is on death hook and you have no hooks, and for whatever reason you're choosing not to take aggro to help your teammate, yeah, you're kind of bad. Your awareness is terrible and you're not really good at the game if you're not helping your team, if you're just being selfish. Like, these are the kind of people, bro, these are the people that'll pull someone who's on death hook off the hook and then run away and watch them get tackled. Like, these are Distortion players. This person says, "People still don't understand that Distortion is a team perk, but they ain't ready for that conversation." I agree with this, but that's not how most people are using the perk. I can understand if most people that were using a perk are in a Swift and they're calling out everything, but that's just not the case. These are people that are solo queuing or maybe duoing without comms or playing casually and just hiding. That's most people who use the perk. I don't care what Twitter tells you. It's just not true. Now, I don't want to take part in this us versus them mentality with Survivor and Killer. I don't care if the killer has a hard time finding you. That's whatever. I don't care about that. This is strictly more so in the sense of a Survivor and a teammate with Distortion, because these people are just, they're just not good. They're just not good. They don't help you. They're not altruistic. They're bad in chase. They don't really do gens, and I don't like that they're rewarded for hiding. It's like, oh, you lost your tokens? Well, all you have to do is just hide next to the killer and you'll get all your tokens back. I would like it if you had to maybe heal someone, or just altruistic actions in general, or doing gens where it's like, okay, you can hide, but you have to do things that'll progress the game. At least be rewarded. If you're not going to be in the killer's face or taking aggro or taking chase, you should be doing other things to help your team, and you should be rewarded with tokens by doing things that's going to help your team. And I want to say this now in case some people think that I think this, which I don't. I don't think Distortion is overpowered. I just think it's annoying. I think it's annoying to have a teammate that has it, and it just screws over the team. That's what I think. I think in a 4-man Swift, a sweaty Swift with comms, I think this perk is very strong. I don't think it's broken though. I do not think it's, I just want to make that clear. I don't think it's broken. I only mentioned the rework because I would like to see teammates being rewarded for doing better things for their team instead of being selfish. Finally, I want to talk about the worst of the worst. The absolute worst people to have on your team, hands down, are the Distortion and Calm Spirit players. These people are the worst. I dread the fact when I go into the endgame lobby and I see Distortion and Calm Spirit, because it's like, oh, no wonder you were terrible. No wonder you died immediately. No wonder you couldn't hold chase. No wonder you bring the killer to our gens. No wonder you're just hiding most of the game. These people are the absolute worst thing to have on your team, and I want to show you what you need to do when you get this on your team. Alright, so I end up getting hooked. There's 3 hooks and only 1 gen done. It's not the best situation, but you know, whatever. So what ends up happening is Ellen gets chased and the Nia's on a gen, and David's in the void. This was during the Halloween event. So I'm thinking he's gonna get me, right? And that's him running, right? He ends up running away from me. He completely just clueless about where I'm at. So I end up hitting second. He wasn't gonna make it in time. I'm mad as fuck. So I'm like, you know what? So I get Wesker's attention, right? I'm like, bro, come here. So I take Wesker with me. I'm like, all right, let's get this guy, bro. I got aftercare. Like, it's over for you. Like, I'm not hitting second because you want to be dumb. Like, you want to be a bad teammate? That's cool. You could be a bad teammate, but I'm going to get you killed. That's just how it's going to be. So he ends up getting caught. I shake my head to let the Wesker know, like, all right, good. You did a good job. And to let the David see it, like, this is what you get for letting me hit second. So I plan on leaving him there. But then Ellen pulls up. I guess, you know, she's being a good teammate. She probably don't know what's going on, even though she saw me hit second. But whatever. I'm cool with that. So David ends up coming back, right? And he's pointing at me. He's like, no, you gotta get him. You gotta get him. And Wesker's like, So Wesker starts chasing David again. I'm like, all right, that's great. I could just do this gen. I'm chilling. This is what you get. So the Ellen pulls up, right? She blows up the gen because she's mad at me. And at first I thought she just made a mistake, so whatever. So I see David goes down. I'm like, all right, cool. So I go back to the hook again to let the Wesker know, like, yes, thank you. And I do that. I shake my head. The David sees it. The Ellen sees it. I'm chilling, right? I'm chilling. So I go back, right? I'm pissed off. I'm so mad. So I go back, and then Ellen points at me. Ellen's like, oh, you gotta get him now. You gotta get him. He's being bad. And Wesker's like, I don't care. Nia goes for the same, right? The Wesker goes back. Wesker's going back to tunnel him out. I'm like, all right, this is amazing. Like, this is like best case scenario. So Ellen's pissed off. So she blows up the gen, right? Again, this is the 2nd time. All right, whatever. 3rd time. And then she does it again. 4th time. Like, she is not happy. Then David goes down, right? So I'm like, all right, sweet. Ellen also gets off the gen to follow me. So David dies. I'm like, let's go. I shake my head. I make sure he sees it too. This is what you get. Ellen's behind me. She gets fucking slammed. I'm chilling, right? I go back to the gen. She ends up dying. I'm like, let's go. I heal the Nia a little bit. We're chill. We had no beef with her. And then we're chilling. And we got a friendly Wesker. And yeah, that was probably like the best thing to happen. I was chilling. And would you look at that? Surely that is not a coincidence, right? Surely it just so happened to be that he's running these perks, right? You know, definitely he's not playing like that because he's running those perks. It's just a coincidence. He was just a bad player using these perks. You know, there's definitely no correlation between people really being bad at this game and using these 2 perks together, right? No, of course not. Of course not. Now, some of you might have seen that and be like, oh my God, Adrian, like, you're so toxic. What the hell? I don't care. I don't. I'm sorry. I don't care. There's a difference between being new at the game and making mistakes and being a bad teammate. Like, he's P21. He had other survivor perks. He's not new. Okay, he's just stupid. The awareness is bad. Like, if you're in the void, you can still see the HUD. You can see someone's on a gen, someone's being chased, and I'm on a hook. All you have to do is get out of the void and look. Just look around you. It's not that hard. And I just don't have patience for bad teammates. Now, if you're a good teammate, if you're getting tunneled the whole game and I'm cranking gens and you're on your death hook and the exit gates are open, I'm going to die for you. It's just as simple as that, because I respect you, because you're doing your best. And even if you're not holding it down, like, even if you're just like, you know when to take aggro, but you're not good at chase, you're trying to do gens, you're trying to heal, like, you're trying to be a good teammate. I see that. I respect it. I have no problem dying so you can make it, because I only get frustrated when I die when I have a bad team. But if we're just at least trying to be a good team, I will do whatever I can to make sure that you live, right? Like, I'll take hits, I'll take a down for you. I don't care. I will literally go above and beyond. If you're a bad teammate, we're all going down. We're all going to die. It's just as simple as that. Like, I will take all of you with me. We are going to hell. There is no getting around that. Like, y'all don't understand. I will single-handedly turn this game into a 1v4 to a 2v3. Like, I'm not playing. So that leaves the question, what's a good solution for survivors that don't want to play with other survivors that are super stealthy? I'm not too worried about killers because this is unfortunate, but the best way to deal with a distortion player is to just ignore them and go for the people that you can find, which really sucks, but you know, people are going to run distortion. That's just how it's going to be. But for a survivor with a teammate that's running distortion, what would be the best course of action when you don't want to deal with that? And I come up with a solution. It's actually really simple. It's actually something that a lot of people have asked for, and I think it would make games a lot better. And it's also, in a way, it's a good band-aid fix for MMR. Let me see your perks in the lobby. please let me see your perks when we're all together and the countdown's happening. I want to see your perks. I want to see, okay, Distortion, Conspirator, Urban Evasion, Spine Chill, I'm out of here. Okay, Soul Survivor, Left Behind, I'm out of here. Okay, Yellow only perks, you're a baby, we shouldn't be playing together. I'm out of here. Let me see these things so I don't have to get into a match to find out the atrocities that are waiting for me. Like, this would really fix a lot of things. I can avoid so many bad players just by their perks alone. And I think other people will do that too. And you can leave those Distortion players to play with other Distortion players because y'all just want to have fun and hide. You can get into games with people just like you and have 20-minute games that where only 2 gens get done. Like, that's all you. You can do that. But yeah, that's about it. Thanks for sticking around. I love you all. I didn't get a chance to say this last time, but I appreciate the 1,000 subs. My heart beats for you, bitch. I'll leave all my socials in the description below. You can find me on Twitch at Adrian, and I promise at some time in 2040 I will definitely go live. You will see me. I will talk to you. I want to talk to y'all. Yeah, that's about it. Don't run Distortion ever. Don't let Twitter fool you. Take that perk off. Be a fucking man. Get in the chase. Run into the killer's face. Stare at him. Don't even move. Just look at him.